Joining us for a conversation is Brett Richards of Goldshore Resources. Mr. Richards, thank you for joining us today, sir.
Maurice, happy to be on the show.
Well, great to have you back on the program as Goldshore Resources is coming off a momentous year on the Flagship Moss Lake Project, which is setting up a number of catalysts for shareholders in 2023. Before we begin, Mr. Richards, for someone new to the story, please introduce us to Goldshore Resources and the exciting opportunity the company presents to shareholders.
Yeah, sure, Maurice. So the project, the Moss Lake Project, we acquired it in 2021 from Wesdome Gold Mines, and we listed in June of 21 on the back of raising $25 million at the time, and subsequent to that, another $25 million over the course of 2022. We embarked on a very aggressive program to not only understand this project much better from a geological standpoint, but prove up what was a 4 million ounce historic resource at both Moss Lake and East Coldstream. And we have gone well down the track on that so far. In November, we had our first mineral resource estimate update at Moss Lake, and we announced 4.17 million ounces at 1.1 grams just at Moss Lake. So it was a 33% increase to the historic resource, and there is lots of scope to increase this much, much further.
Well, I'd like to stick back with the mineral resource estimate. Walk us through some of the highlights, because I think some of the market missed it and a lot of it didn't. And I say that mixedly because the stock price hasn't risen, but you've had an opportunity to conduct a couple of financings, I should say, and the market has responded very favorably.
They have. And, I could talk for a long time about last year and the macro and the geopolitical situation and, what drove gold to kind of go sideways for the year in an environment that, gold should have performed much better. But on the strength of the US dollar, and I'll say a bit artificial strength of the US dollar, gold equities, got absolutely hammered because of the geopolitical situation and the risk-off mentality throughout kind of the second half of last year. We were no different. So when we put good news out in the market, and as you say, on November 15th, the mineral resource estimate we put out of 4 million ounces should have been tremendous news. It should have doubled our share price or more kind of on that day. And it didn't. And it is the market. And, unfortunately, we still have some of this to correct itself, and gold equities and juniors like ourselves at Goldshore Resources, we will re-rate based on the performance of what we've done over the last 2 years, the resource that we've identified, but also the size and the potential that this project is going to take us to. So although I'm a little frustrated from last year, the market has, the market will respond. It will take some time. And when they see, 4 million ounces of Moss Lake and a path to 6 and 8 and well beyond that, we think we have an endowment that if you could do the simple math on our property, we think we have, closer to 20 million ounces. But, that's arm waving. We have to prove up in steps. We've got 4 million ounces now, and we'll take it to the next level in the next mineral resource update.
Now, the mineral resource estimate also indicated some upside optionality in battery metals. Tell us more.
There's a number of really, really great things going on our site. First of all, in that 4 million ounces, the story is that half of it, 2.2 million ounces, is 2 grams or greater. So that will separate us from our peers. We should be leading our peer group because of grade and because of the potential for, a project centering around this high grade material. The second really, I'll say really cool optionality that we have is back in October, we put out a drill result at North Coldstream. And if you remember, North Coldstream was a historic mine, and it was very small, and the deposit's very large. And we put out a drill intercept, 62.8 meters at 0.88% copper equivalent. And the beauty of this is it's got 0.09% cobalt. So there is tremendous opportunity here to develop North Coldstream, understand the size of the deposit, and understand other targets on our property that look exactly like it. So there will be some work down the road, as you say, optionality, but I'm really excited about this one. This is at surface, so there is a tremendous amount of potential here.
Well, we've taken a look back. Mr. Richards, please get us up to speed on the work that is currently being conducted on site.
For sure. Last year, when we were going through our 100,000 meter program, we started to see these high-grade shears contained within the halo of low-grade material. So we followed it, and this is what Moss Lake became. It became much larger and the potential to grow from where it is today. But there is this high-grade shear domain that is captured right in the center and at surface. So that was something that we kind of followed. And you'll remember we put out some pretty stellar drill results. 6.3 grams over 56.85 meters, 5.31 grams over 16 meters. These are all near surface, and they're all on our website and in our presentation. But even when we put those results out, the market didn't respond. Again, going back to the macro. So we have a lot of catch up to do. The market really needs to play catch up with the quality of this story when it comes to grade and when it comes to size and scale and potential. This is quite exciting. So we're carrying on with Moss Lake. We are going to put out another mineral resource update in April based on all of the holes that we have not seen through. We're at 75,000 meters, and that mineral resource update we put out in November only had about 35,000 meters contained in it. So the other 40,000 meters of drilling will be in the next mineral resource update. Now, I'm not expecting it to double because a lot of those holes were infill holes, but there will be a very material increase in the size of the resource, and we will maintain the grade. I'm very, very confident of that.
So, in terms of news flow, it should be a busy year for us.
For sure, we're still going to have drill results coming out every 3 weeks, much like we did last year. The really main catalysts that we've got coming are the secondary mineral resource update. It'll come out around the first part of April. And on the back of that, and yes, we are expecting it to be close to 6 million ounces. We expect a maiden resource at East Coldstream. And on the back of that, we are going to conduct a PEA. And for those who aren't familiar with the term, it is a preliminary economic assessment. What we're going to do is wrap a project around this resource, and we're going to do all the inputs required to build this project, to build the infrastructure, to build the mine. And it will put out economic results as a result of that. It'll tell you how much the capex is. It'll tell you how much your mine your production will be for and life of mine and strip ratio and grade. But it also will tell you the free cash flow and the NPV of the project at a very high level. So very excited to start that after April. That catalyst will be coming out in September. And any drilling that we do this year, throughout the year, will be in support of that project, because our plan is to take that into pre-feasibility study next year. So there may be a tertiary MRE come out near the end of the year. So 3 big catalysts this year, infilled with a whole bunch of drill results. So it'll be an exciting year.
Oh, that's an understatement. Leaving the project site, let's look at some numbers. Mr. Richards, please provide us with the capital structure for Goldshore Resources.
Yeah, for sure. We have just come back from a raise. We have 167 million shares outstanding and just over 17 million warrants. Those warrants half of them are at 40 cents, the other half are at 75 cents. And we have around 5 or 6 million in the bank right now. We're not drilling as aggressively as we were last year. This is a very delicate kind of, I'm going to say, market macro. There is we don't know which way it's going to go, so I'm a little cautious as to spending money right now. But we're going full steam ahead on our studies. We're going full steam ahead on metallurgical test results, which we'll be putting out in press releases as well. So there's a lot of things that are going forward that they don't cost a lot, like drilling, but these catalysts, we're pretty well funded, well down the road. our market cap today is 36 million. It's, in my view, we should be trading kind of north of 75 cents today, or in and around that 100 million marker. We're not, and I get it. It is the market today, but there is substantial room for share price growth, and a number of ways to calculate that growth, either on a per ounce basis, but also on the back of the economics that are going to happen in September when we put the results of the PEA out.
Now, the share price isn't where you want it, but what does it say to you when prudent capital, and I'm referring to your accredited investors that have participated in an oversubscribed financing, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means that every financing we've done, we've had great support, and management, myself, our VP, our members of our board, including our chairman, we participate in every financing because we believe in this project. So I think the support we've had is great. We're trading at $9 an ounce today. Our peer group trades at $30 an ounce. And if you look at valuing the high-grade material, it trades around $16 an ounce. And the high-grade projects, much like, use Marathon as an example, trade well over $100 an ounce. So there's a lot of calibration still to happen between the market playing catch-up and understanding this Goldshore story, and quite frankly, the growth catalyst that we're going to deliver throughout the year. So there's a lot of scope here for investment today, and downside risk protected, but upside, there's not much limit here. We could do multiples this year.
In closing, sir, what would you like to say to shareholders?
I don't think there's ever been a better time to invest in gold. And I say this, and I talk on a lot of panels and a lot of interviews. The macro for gold is aligning up perfectly. Now, the trajectory of that might be a little slow, but I think the second, third, and most definitely third and fourth quarters of this year, gold is going to be extremely strong. You want exposure to gold. Interest rates went up again today, 4.5%. You want exposure to to a hedge against inflation. That's gold. But if you want leverage to that, you want to play in gold equities. And if you want extreme leverage to that, you look for those outliers. And Goldshore is an outlier. So that is why the investment thesis, the investment case for investing in Goldshore has never been stronger. And I put my money where my mouth is. I invest in this company. I'm the third largest shareholder. I've written a lot of checks into this company, into the placements, and I believe in it. And I've seen a lot of projects in my 37 years, and you don't get very many 10 baggers and 15 baggers that come along. And this has the potential to do that. Market willing, capital willing. I think we have the resource in the ground. This is going to be something special.
And full disclosure, I'm a proud shareholder, and I still recall the email you gave me, the response when I wanted to participate in the financing. You said, Maurice, we're booked. It was very disappointing for me, but at the same token, I do want to be very transparent here. We see this as an absolute buying opportunity, and we will be active buyers at these current share prices, absolutely. Last question for you, sir. What did I forget to ask?
I don't think you really forgot anything. I think, looking at, as I said, Goldshore as an entry opportunity today, and given where the market is and where I think gold equities are starting to move, gold has started to move 19, 30, 40 today. We're starting to see the traction. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to call the bottom. We've seen the bottom. It's behind us. Some of us are still in it. We are still in it. We're not trading at 52-week lows, but this is the bottom now. And I don't think that we're going to see, much. We're going to see a flat period for a while, but I think this whole market is going to start to move. And this is where Goldshore is going to gear up and have the leverage to outperform from a share price standpoint and a percent standpoint. I think we're going to outperform our market.
Well, Mr. Richards, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Wishing you and Goldshore Resources the absolute best, sir.
Maurice, always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.